My dear boys and girls, I'll tell you a story about two girls. The story starts with this girl whose name is Gauri. She's not Gauri, she's Gauri's mother. Where is Gauri? Gauri is taking a hurried bath. She got up late and now she's taking a quick bath, and her mother is shouting, Gauri, hurry up. Gauri, I've been telling you for the last half an hour that you're getting late. And you do that every day. These days, you're taking so long in the bathroom that you hardly have time for breakfast. I'm sure one of these days you'll miss the bus and then you'll realize why I shout so much. That's a very common story, isn't it? Finally, Gauri is out of the bathroom. She gets dressed up quickly, puts on the shoes, ties the shoelaces, and picks up the school bag and says, Bye, mom, I'm going. What? What about your breakfast? And then begins a hand to mouth combat. Gauri's mother trying to force a sandwich into Gauri's mouth, and Gauri trying to resist it with all her might. Her mother gives up and says, Okay, at least have a glass of milk before you go. Gauri doesn't like milk very much, but she has no choice. She gulps the glass of milk down as quickly as she can and is about to leave, thinking that the ordeal is over, but actually it's not. Her mother says, Okay, take this sandwich with you and eat it on the way. Bye, mom, says Gauri, and her mother lingers on at the door, watching the receding figure of her daughter. As Gauri is walking towards the bus stop, she finds another girl about her own age, and this girl to her is a sort of a godsend. Gauri thinks, I'm not hungry, and I don't like eating on the road anyway. This girl is obviously hungry, and therefore the choice is obvious. She offers this sandwich to this girl who accepts it gratefully. Gauri is very happy as she hands over this sandwich to this girl. Children, there are two types of happiness. One is the happiness that we get when we get something, for example, a new dress. The other type of happiness is the one that we get when we give something, the type of happiness that Gauri experienced while handing over this sandwich to this girl. While we can't get everything that we want, we can always give something that we have. Nobody can stop us from giving what we have. And therefore, this is a happiness that nobody can deprive us of. On one hand, the joy of giving, nobody can deprive us of. And on the other, it feels much better than the happiness of getting something. And that's why we call it the joy of giving, not just happiness. Over the next few days, Gauri discovers that, like herself, this girl also has a routine. She is out around the same time, and she also comes to know that she's a rag picker. She collects junk in this bag, which she sells later on. And so Gauri now deliberately starts bringing a part of her breakfast with her and keeps expecting that she'll meet this girl. And quite often she does. Gradually, the relationship between these two girls does not remain confined to just exchanging some food. They also start sharing joys and sorrows. Sometimes they sit down and chat for a while. They know each other's names. Gauri knows that this girl is Leelavati, and they also start sharing joys and sorrows. For example, one day Gauri tells Leelavati that she's literally dragging herself to school because she's dreading the maths exam for which she's very ill prepared. Another day, she tells Leelavati that she's so happy because she got a prize in athletics. Leelavati, on her part, tells Gauri one day that the other day when Gauri's neighbor moved house, they discarded a lot of junk. And that day, Gauri made an extra trip with her mother to collect as much junk as they could and made a fortune by selling it at 5 rupees a kilo. Leelavati has her sorrows also to share. For example, one day while sifting through the garbage, she happened to touch a piece of broken glass and got a cut in her hand. This exchanging of food and sharing of joys and sorrows goes on for a couple of years. And then one day, Leelavati told Gauri that from now on, she will not be coming anymore because she's about to get married. In another year, Gauri also finished school and joined college. And then she forgot all about Leelavati. After finishing college, Gauri got married and had a lovely daughter whom she named Neha. And now history started repeating itself. Neha would not be ready on time for school, and then Gauri would tell her to carry part of her breakfast with her as she walks to the bus stop. One day, when Gauri was seeing off Neha and lingered on at the door, uh, as she watched the receding figure of her daughter, she saw that she was handing over her breakfast to a rag picker. A few tears rolled down Gauri's eyes. Just for recapitulation, the joy of giving is much greater than the happiness of getting. In the world, we have the rich and the poor, and when the rich give something to the poor, we call it charity. But the very fact that there are rich and poor is a sort of an injustice. Can charity really correct this injustice? Charity may help the poor a bit, but doesn't really correct the injustice in the world. More than helping the poor, what charity does is to give the rich the joy of giving. And it does something else for the rich. When somebody rich comes across somebody poor, the way Gauri came across Lilavati, the conscience of the rich person hurts. Charity acts as a sort of soothing balm for the conscience of the rich. The mother has said something interesting about charity. Thank you, boys and girls, for listening to this story.